the Europeans are saying that Africa is now an ever more important geostrategic partner as it pertains to geopolitics. I just wanted to get the perspective from Nigeria as to, is that the same feeling in Africa, that the relationship with Europe is so important right now?
We've always considered Europe to be very important to us. They are our neighbors. I keep saying that the Mediterranean in Latin means land in the water in the middle of land, not the other way around. So we've always been connected, and the modern world as it is today was built off of the back of the trade around the Atlantic. So it's something that has always existed, will continue to exist. Goods, trade, services will move, people will move for opportunities, and the sooner we both realize that we are each other's neighbors and by extension each other's keepers, the better.
You talk about people moving. That is such a contentious debate in Europe right now. It's fueling the rise of far-right parties, some would even argue fascist parties, the migration issue, right? And we're seeing the European Union go into bilateral deals with countries right at the top of Africa, keeping Africans in Africa essentially. What do you make of such policies?
It's the orientation, it's the indoctrination of people. This goes back to a book by Jean Raspail that is about this scaremongering about hordes of Africans coming to invade Europe. It's a 1973 book. Unfortunately, it got wide circulation more recently, and it's fueling this fear of invading hordes from Africa. But if you look at it, the quantum of migrants from Africa, particularly sub-Saharan Africa, is really insignificant compared to those coming from Asia, compared to those coming from Central Europe. But of course, it plays well into the politics. It always makes good headlines if you take a picture of black people in a dinghy and you put it out there, and it sends a message. But we have to get beyond that. Europe has an aging population. We have a youthful population.
Yeah.
We are not looking to export talent. We're not looking to export people. We're looking to export talent. So we can work together, invest in the very sectors and training the people that are required, enough for us in Africa, and of course enough to go to Europe to support Europe. So there are templates there. It should be structured. We're not in favor or supporting the wholesale movement of people illegally to Europe. We need them to build our continent as well. So we need to work together and have a better understanding.
Minister, before you became Nigeria's top diplomat, you were ambassador in Germany. I'm bringing this up because right now the world is looking to Europe to somehow use its diplomatic power to restrain Israel, as we see an increase, a step up in the military activity in Gaza, but also the humanitarian blockade that we've seen, which is being justified in Israel to say aid is benefiting Hamas militants. Would you like to see your European counterparts do more in the way of talking to Israel to end the war in Gaza?
Absolutely. We have always affirmed our support for the two-state solution, and there will always be a point of divergence with the majority, overwhelming majority of Africans when it comes to race-based governance. We fought against apartheid. Nigeria in particular fought against racist regimes in Zimbabwe, in Mozambique, of course in South Africa, Angola, so Namibia. So what we see happening in Gaza, in Palestine today, is, apartheid, and we will always stand against that. We're not against Israel. We're not against Israeli people, and people should stop equating, speaking up against what is happening with some hatred towards Jewish people. That is not it. It's a deflection from what is actually going on that the whole world needs to address, and we need to come to terms with that.
And what would you like to see your European counterparts do to address this?
Speak up, put pressure as they would if this was happening in other parts of the world. Stand up tall and speak for the truth, because history will judge all of us.
My final question, Minister, there is credible reporting suggesting that the Trump administration is talking to officials in Libya about resettling Palestinian civilians in Gaza in Libya.
It doesn't make sense. How do you uproot people from their lands, from where they belong, and then, okay, why Libya? Why not any other country in the world? The world doesn't work that way. There's a reason why the Westphalian state system that we all practice today is connected to, has this connection, is predicated on the roots, the firm roots that people have to the land, to the soil, to their ancestral land. And you don't just wake up one day by fiat and decide, okay, you're going to move people from one part of the world to the other. I mean, this is what happened during the slave trade, where people from where I come from were uprooted forcibly and taken to the Americas, to the New World, if you will. And we now see the outcome of that. This is not dissimilar to that.
So if the Libyans were to agree to this, and this was
it's not a matter of whether the Libyans agree to it. Do the Palestinians agree to it? That should be our focus.
So in that case, would you then be initiating a process for the international community to stop that happening?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Nigeria will definitely be part of that effort.